Welcome to the Maelstrom Study Descriptions on Mica tutorial. Mica is a software application used to create online portals for individual epidemiological studies or multi-study networks. It helps investigators and data custodians efficiently disseminate information about their studies and networks. We will see how to complete the pertinent fields to create the online portal for your study using Mica as shown here. As you can see on the flowchart, studies described using Mica can have one or more populations, and each population can be described separately within the same study description. Each population will have its own collection events attached to them. First, you need to be sure that you have the necessary information to complete the main fields. This means that you should already have publications or websites with information about the three sections: general information, general design, population or populations, and collection events. The information that you should already have refers to study objectives, design, start and end dates, as well as information about the participants, such as selection criteria, recruitment method, how many people participated, and finally, information about the collection events, such as the types of information collected, dates, and the sources. I will use a previously completed description as an example of how to create a study description on Mica. First, you must log into Mica. You will need to have a username and password, which will have to be done on Agat. Open Studies, then Individual Studies, then click on Add Study to create a new study description. The first section you will fill out is a general information and general design section. Fill in the name with the full official name of the study and the acronym. Then, fill out the main objectives of the study from the study protocol papers, website, or other supporting documentation as summarized as possible using full sentences. If you have the logo in JPG or PNG format, you can add it by choosing your file. Then, fill in the year the study started and the year it ends. If the study has not ended, it should be left blank. To fill in the website, write the study website URL if available, but it can vary if other reliable websites are available. The next section concerns the general design of the study. You must select the appropriate design for your study. In the case of selecting Other for the study design, the box that appears when you select it can be filled in with a brief description if you wish to be more precise. The next field refers to the type of participants targeted by your study. First, you need to select the correct types of participants from individuals, families, or other. Individuals is used when participants recruited are unrelated individuals. Families is used when families such as twins, mothers and children are recruited as sampling units. Other is used when the two first categories do not apply. Next, you need to fill in the follow-up text box, which should be general information on follow-up of participants through time, therefore waves of data collections or data collection events. In the supplementary section, you can include any additional information about the follow-ups. Following is the total number of participants recruited or to be recruited in the study. If there is more than one population, the number should be the sum of the total of all the populations. The same reasoning applies for the number of participants with biosamples. Next is the access section, where you will specify if access to study data, biological samples, or other study material by external researchers or third parties is allowed or foreseen. You can add more detailed information if you wish in the additional sections. Then you fill in the marker paper, which is a reference paper providing the information about the study. The PubMed ID should only include the number, which will create a link on the website. Click Save to save the general information and general design section. To list the principal investigators and the people to contact for information, you have the Members field. Click on Add Contact to include the information of the contact person. Then do the same for investigators. Fill in the pertinent information for each individual in both fields. You have the identification field and the institution field. The identification field refers to the personal information of the contact person, including the title, the name, the last name, the email, and the phone number. The institution is the information about the institution for which is collaborating. It includes the name, the department, the address, the city, the postal code, the state, and the country. Click Save. In the case that you have already added a contact or investigator for other studies, you may retrieve their saved information by typing in the name under Find in Existing. Next, you will fill out the section about the population or populations. Click on the Add Population button to start describing your first population. First, the ID should always be a number. So in your first population, it would be number 1, second population number 2, and so on. Then you generate a name to identify each population included in the study, followed by a brief text describing the study participants in the next box. The next field is about the selection criteria. This field has been separated into subsections for different criteria. So you select or fill in, if pertinent, gender, age, so if necessary, fill in minimum and maximum age, whether they are pregnant women, and if so, in which semester they are, whether they are newborns, twins, which country and which city they're from, ethnic origin, health status, or if it does not fit in any of the previous ones, then you can use the other criteria field. Then, move on to the field for information about recruitment. Here, you need to select the specific sources of recruitment used in the study. One or more categories can be selected, and then you will need to complete the additional information. First, you must select general populations, specific population, participants from existing study, and other. The first one, which is general population, refers to the specific study population being sampled from the general population. If you select this one, you must choose a strategy of recruitment or sampling among the following: volunteer enrollment, selected sample, or random digit dialing. Volunteer enrollment refers to participants volunteering themselves to participate, no individualized contact of the participants by the study to ask for participation. Selected samples refers to participants sampled from a list of individuals and contacted by the study to ask if they would agree to participate. Random digit dialing refers to participants that are contacted using random phone numbers. The second one, which is specific population, is used when the study population presents well-defined characteristics. Therefore, the population sample is not representative of the general population. Again, if selected, you have to choose a strategy of recruitment and/or sampling. Clinic and/or hospital patients refers to participants recruited from patients of a hospital or clinic. Members of a specific association refers to participants recruited from a specific group of people, such as military, or from a specific industry, job types such as nurses, or associations such as alumni. Other specific population refers to any other specific population not previously mentioned. The third one, which is participants from existing studies, is applied when the participants are recruited from an existing study. If selected, the box must be filled in with the official name of the study from which participants are recruited. If participants are recruited from more than one study, click the Add Study tab and fill in all the study names. The fourth one, which is Other, is applied when the source of recruitment is none of the previously mentioned, so general population, specific population, or participants from existing studies. If selected, fill in the box marked Other Sources with the correct source of recruitment. You then move on to fill in the number of participants, which refers to the number of participants for this specific population. The same rule should be applied to the number of participants with biological samples. Click Save. The next step would be to add the data collection events. Click on the Add Data Collection Event button to create a new collection event. As previously mentioned, each population has its own data collection events, so they must be created and completed for each one. This is what will establish the study timeline. The ID as in the population should be a number. First collection event should normally be 1 and so on for the following collection events. You need to generate a name to identify each collection event and write a brief description of the information and samples collected at this specific collection event. Then, you need to check off the data sources that are mentioned in the description of the data collected. If you select biosamples, you need to select the types of biosamples that were collected in that particular collection event. If you select Others in biosamples, you can add more precise information in the text box. If you select Administrative databases, you need to select the types of databases from which information was collected for that particular collection event as well. If you select Others, it refers to other sources not previously mentioned. You can specify in the text box from which other source information was collected. An example would be if one of the sources is an assessment by observation. Then, fill in the year and month when the data collection event started and ended. Then you click Save. The same steps should be followed for any additional data collection events. You can create additional collection events by using the Add Data Collection Event button, or by duplicating the collection event you have already created and making the necessary changes to fit your new data collection event. In this case, we will change information in the name, in the dates, and we will also make some changes in the description. Since we made changes in the description, we will have to make the changes that fit in the data sources section. Click Save. When you have various data collection events, you may move them up or down using the arrows. As you can see, this will change the order of the data collection events. This function can also be used for moving the populations up or down. Again, this will establish the order of the populations. You can now see your study description as a draft if you wish by clicking on the Share button and copying the link. You can select the date this link will expire. The default is 1 month. This will create a preview of what it will look like on the portal before publishing. Once you have finalized it, you may publish it by clicking Draft to under Review and Publish. Your study description will be published on your portal. Thank you for taking the time to watch this tutorial.